From the Keith Winsakela Studios in Paterson, New Jersey, Green Arrow Media proudly presents Is This Real? Tonight, what happened to the lost submarines in 1968? Where'd they go? And now your host, JC3.
Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Is This Real?
Es real?
Whoa. Did you, speak Spanish there?
I did.
Cool.
Switch it up a little bit.
I was not expecting that. Oh my
I
god.
like that. Porque.
Hey.
Okay.
That's a good butter.
Okay. What? All right. On this episode, as Dad said at the beginning, we were talking about the lost subs in 1968 in, I believe this is Vietnam time, isn't it?
68? Was 68 Vietnam time, Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
Kennedy was around those times.
Okay.
No, Kennedy was dead.
Yeah.
Wait, technically he's not wrong. Robert Kennedy
Well,
was
yeah,
killed
Bobby
in
Kennedy.
68.
Yeah.
There
Yes.
you go.
John was killed in 63.
Yeah.
I was.
See previous episode.
Okay. So, as usual in our booth tonight, Dad, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody, and welcome
That's-
to our
that's-
program.
That's Big Joe over there. We have Mr. West in the building.
Konnichiwa minasan.
Okay. Cito.
Switch it up
Cito's
again,
here.
huh?
Hola, everyone.
There you go.
Hola. That was very forceful, Cito. We have the Pope himself.
I'm a Pope.
That really is starting to get old.
No, it's not.
And gentlemen, I'm JC3, and what do we have for the Lost Subs 68? Because I honestly did not come prepared at all for
They're
this.
lost.
Thank you. Good
No,
night,
they're not.
everybody.
No, they're not. They're underwater.
They are or in space.
What were
Or
the
in
four?
space.
What were the names of the fours? Anybody know?
Yo,
Nope.
I saw.
Uh,
I got you right now.
the
Because- No, because I cheated and I saw on his screen the USS
Isn't it?
Scorpion.
Yeah,
The
I was
Scorpion
going
is
to say,
one,
isn't
yes.
it Scorpion or Raven, something like that? I
That's
don't know.
No,
one.
it is the
That's
Scorpion.
one, but that's the one you get from
The
me.
Malitoka or something? Yeah, I know one started with an
Thank
M.
you. Thank you, Eric.
The Minerva.
You're welcome.
The
Minerva.
Minerve.
Minerve, I don't know. I
Minerva.
remember the first letters or something.
Hold
And
on.
that was a French sub.
That was. I was gonna say. Okay, Scorpions
I
from.
invented a maneuver.
So the Scorpions from the United States. The Minerve is from France.
Scroll down.
The Soviet submarine K-129,
Whoa.
and then finally the INS Dakar from Israel.
So, I have a question. Why
Wait. This is another one that says, what about the USS Thresher? What is that?
Thrasher?
Thresher? Yeah.
I'd have to
It
look
says
it
it's a nuclear. Go up.
So this is all nuclear warhead things?
Yeah, these
Sub-
are
Well-
all nuclear class.
Right, but the USS the
Whoa.
USS Thresher was another submarine that was lost. It was a nuclear powered submarine.
Oh, it's a nuclear powered submarine.
Yes, and it
Didn't
was
have any
lost, but it
nukes
was
on
lost in I don't even know. 1963.
Ah,
Yes.
so it does not count in the title.
when the Thresher was stuck, yeah.
Technicalities.
Yep. It was not decommissioned.
You know what technicalities does, right, Eric?
That's right.
It was lost. The Thresher was lost at sea, and it has been. It was never decommissioned by the Navy. It is on what's known as eternal patrol. So
That's
So I
terrifying.
feel like that's a fancy way of them saying that we lost it, but we don't know where it's at.
no. It's
I heard about this before.
it's fucking dead.
It's so basically what they say about internal patrols is that they always to remember those people who are lost onto submarines, like the military will call it an internal patrol, and basically honor them.
So it's like
and-
Blackbeard.
I think you're fucking talking about.
Which Blackbeard are we talking about?
He's
Because
not
we're
talking about Blackbeard. He's talking about
Marshall
fucking
PT.
Davy Jones, the dickhead.
Davy Jones, that's what I meant. Sorry, I'm all up on hot pain pills. It's all good.
Oh, shut up.
We don't condone drugs.
It's not even
No,
they're
we
not
don't.
You're not condoning it. Not condoning it. It's just fucking ibuprofen, nigga.
So yeah, the Thresher was lost.
That can get us.
Stop it.
Okay.
The Thresher was lost, but it was not lost in 1968. The weird thing about this is, in 1968, from January to May, these four subs fucking sank. That's exactly what happened. We know where they are now. We found them, all four of them. But the reasons why they sank is all over the place. There's so many theories. And fucking submarines just don't sink just because.
Well, they fell.
I'm sorry?
You can't sink something that's already submerged.
What?
It's a submarine. It's already underwater. Like, you could sink a boat. It's floating on top.
No,
you know, then
no.
it
You
sinks.
can still sink it because it has propellers and shit to keep it above the fucking seafloor.
It's a
So
float.
when it
It's
stops
still-
working
it's still
and
a
it sinks. It sinks further.
It's still
I
a float.
disagree.
Oh my god, bro! There's still buoyancy on the thing.
I disagree.
Did
Anyway,
you say buoyancy?
I did.
I was not expecting him to say
He's very
The-
intelligent tonight.
the INS Dakar was actually
I've been
purchased.
reading my Britannica.
The INS Dakar was actually purchased from England. Before it was known as the Dakar, it was known as the HMS Totem, and then Israel bought it, and then it fucking sank. And we know where they are. Like, we found them. But the weird part is, why did 4 of them in the same year sink?
Aliens.
it. Wait.
Mermaids.
When did
Actually, it was
Israel
the
buy the
mermaids.
submarine?
It was King Triton defending his crown.
Shut the fuck up!
Against the humans. That's what it was.
Dad, you're awful quiet.
1965.
And then
Are you okay?
Sebastian
Man,
under
they didn't
the
even get 3 years of it?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god.
Hold on, guys. Dad,
What?
you okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm trying to research the topic at hand and listening to you fucking 4 idiots.
I love you're researching the show during the show.
No. See, I came prepared.
He
The
has
thing
notes.
is, I'm just trying to collect my facts together so the people that are listening that want to know about the ships that sunk.
They're not ships, they're submarines.
I have a question.
Don't be a dickhead. You know what I mean? So,
I'll be honest though. Who asked?
Who asked what?
Who was sitting there like, I wonder what the sub 68 is doing? Like, nobody like.
No, but this is interesting.
Hey, it'll
like,
pique someone's interest.
Yeah, it will pique some.
Like-
Hey, you know, all power to you.
here's the okay.
Is it because your interest isn't piqued?
Hold on.
No, I'm here.
Let's start with this one.
You're
Let's start with the good old US of A, the USS Scorpion.
That's right, number 1, baby.
Launched 1959,
Yeah.
lost 1968. 99 crew members lost with the
Oh my
ship.
god.
9,800.
Holy shit! How big is that fucking submarine?
These are
Uh,
huge.
it
They can
was.
hold nukes, bro. They're fucking huge.
It wasn't as big as the thing that was in
I'll
the
tell you right
fucking-
now.
the river in Jersey, was it?
It was 251 feet and 8 inches long, and
That's not that big.
it's pretty fucking big. And it weighed
Wait,
3,000 tons.
I'm probably gonna
Sorry,
get hit
3,000
for
pounds.
No, yeah.
No, 3,000
this.
tons.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm gonna get hit for this. Was it the Ling Ling or the Ting Ting that was in the Jersey that was in the river?
Excuse me.
The Ling, right?
you're talking about the one that's in
Yeah, move the microphone closer to your mouth.
Hackensack.
Yes, that's the Ling Ling or just the Ling?
USS Ling.
Ling. Okay, that wasn't big. That wasn't as big as that, right?
Apologize.
Okay.
Apologize
That-
to anybody.
That sounded really racist.
That.
I wasn't trying to be. That's why I said I was gonna get hit.
Do you want to know about the Ling or you want to talk over me?
Continue.
The Ling was decommissioned. It never saw service, okay? Because by the time they commissioned it, the war had just ended. So it's about
I know, but it wasn't as big as these, right?
no, it was never as big, and it's not going to be as wide because again, this was diesel powered, and these other ones that went missing were nuclear powered.
Well, at least we know the Scorpion was definitely nuclear powered. I'm not sure about the other 3, but we'll figure that out as we go along, I suppose. But
Yay, research.
yeah, research. Now, the weird thing about the Scorpion is there's a theory that it was attacked on a secret mission.
Ooh, I love secret missions.
But you said it was launched in the 50s, right?
60s?
Yes, 1959 it was launched, and then 1968 it went belly up.
Okay.
There's a lot of books.
Are you trying to do math?
No, I'm trying to figure out like where that sub could have been around
Well,
that time.
Well, we knew where it was, and we know where it is. It's in the North Atlantic. Like that's where it went down.
By Antarctica?
No, the North Atlantic.
North Atlantic, like we're talking like Arctic and UK area.
That's what I
No,
meant,
no,
sorry.
no. It's off the coast of Connecticut.
Oh,
Oh.
that's it?
You
That's
could
the
just said-
Atlantic.
You could have
That
just
is
said
North
North
Atlantic.
America.
Do you think we're good at oceans?
Oh dear fucking
When
Christ!
I hear look, I'm sorry, but when someone
heard-
says North Atlantic,
I'm over
I'm
here.
thinking like North Atlantic,
Yeah,
like it's
close to
fucking
Arctic-
cold.
Close to
All
the
right.
Arctic and shit.
No
would've
one
said the
says,
Arc-
"Hey, look, the North Atlantic." Oh yeah, Jersey. No
Yeah,
one
you would've-
says
yeah,
that.
you would have said Arctic. Yeah, you're right. but
What is wrong with you people?
You mispronounced yourself.
No, I didn't.
because I'm a guy and I need exact details to
Exactly.
comprehend things.
Well,
To be fair, you did say North Atlantic. We all kind of went assumed like all the way.
No, you could have just said the
There was
Atlantic
there was
Ocean.
no
I'd be like,
happy
where?
medium with us.
Around
It's either
like,
one extreme or the other.
yeah, you could have been like, oh, the Atlantic Ocean. I'm like, okay. When I think of Atlantic Ocean, because I'm by Jersey, I'm thinking like, oh, it's like right next door to me.
And the North Atlantic would be like way up ahead
Yeah,
of
like
us.
Greenland, Iceland, something like that.
And then the South,
You know, weird
and the
thoughting about
South
Greenland
Atlantic
and
would be
Iceland.
like, you know,
I'm sorry. We'll get back to Anthony.
South America.
I don't want to do this fucking podcast anymore.
There you go. Speaking for Roadblock.
Anyway, there's an idea that it was attacked.
By
The
who?
Soviet Union.
Damn Soviets.
The Soviet Union attacked the Scorpion. It was on a classified mission coming back.
68 Soviets are still there.
Yeah, no. I'm just thinking because did a Soviet submarine get?
The Soviet submarine also sank, but that was in March. Well, they lost communication with it in the third week of March. I'm assuming that's when they kind of figured that's when it sank.
The Ides of March.
But the Scorpion, we know, sank in around the 27th of January.
Oh.
And there's a lot of different. Here's the thing with all of these subs, there's a lot of things that kind of like they give reasons for them, and they all kind of overlap. You know, could it have been a hydrogen explosion? Could it have been the accidental activation of a torpedo? Could it have been they went to fire a torpedo and it was defective? Could it have been structural damage? Like those are common things. But the Soviet attack one for the Scorpion stands out.
I have a question.
I'll try to answer it.
I don't know. Maybe you said this. These things have been found, right? We found.
They've all been found. Yes.
They've all been found.
Yes.
Wouldn't any of those scenarios that you said, like an explosion, or wouldn't they have presented themselves in evidence of why these things, when we found them, why these things think?
Yeah, you can look at them and be like, oh, there's a, you know, if you see a hole in the side of something, like, okay, there's that right there. There's a hole. So that's. But the problem is, it depends on how they sank and how they landed. Like the Scorpion is landed, it's lying on its port side, so which means that we can't pick the fucking thing up and see if there's any holes on the port side. So we don't know. We can't.
For those who
see
don't
that.
know, Sea Talk, what the hell's port side?
You're right.
Well, on a boat you have port and aft.
Still doesn't help me.
I know that.
That was port and starboard or something like that.
Well, there's that too, I suppose. I'm not exactly sure.
Do you know what port side is, Dad?
You have fore and aft. That's front and back.
Okay, fore and aft.
The port is either the left
Put
side
your
or the
mic.
right
There you
side.
go.
Okay, I don't know what the other one is, but there's port on one side, and then I forgot what
Starboard.
the other was. It might be starboard. Yeah, you might be right. And that describes the left and right position. But fore and aft would be the. Now I'll give you an example of what you're saying. Now, the Ling, and the Hackensack River, has literally tipped to its side. So it went on the port side. In other words, you can't find out what's going on. It's buried in the mud. There's nothing. You're never going to be able to raise this thing. It's going to be stuck there, you know, for millennia. It's not going to be able to be moved. And if these things, if that happened to these things here, regardless of what took these out, you know, and then to answer your question earlier, the only nuclear-powered sub was the United States sub.
It was okay.
Right. The other three were diesel electric. And the problem they had with the diesel electric back then is because there was so much heat generated in that submarine that it could malfunction different controls.
Yes.
Okay, and it permeated the entire the existence of the sub. It was crazy, and I was in the Ling, so I can tell you firsthand that it's a very cramped quarters, and if it gets hot like that, there's really nowhere to go.
Port side is left.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This so the Scorpion lies at the bottom of the Sargasso Sea, which is by the Azores, part of the North Atlantic.
Has anybody ever thought about going down there and trying to?
It's by
salvage it?
Bermuda for
I was about to say, has anybody ever thought trying to find where the fuck you said?
I felt so offended on so many levels. In some way, shape, or form, that was racist, and I don't like it.
The Navy does revisit the site. It says here the Navy periodically visits the site to determine whether wreckage has been disturbed and to test for the release of any fissile missile materials from the submarine's nuclear reactor or two nuclear weapons.
Wait.
Who's disturbing them?
Well, that's the thing.
Pirates?
No. Well,
Rocks.
Underwater?
hold on a second. Wait a second.
Pirates.
Time out.
Cartel has submarines.
Joey's not 100% wrong.
Thank you.
He's not. But also, factor
Tell me
this.
that Luffy really
Look,
out there?
no, Luffy's not out there. This isn't the One Piece, you
You
dickhead.
don't know that?
No, Jack Sparrow.
But think of it like this:
Captain.
if there's a country
Alright,
out there that is warring or planning to attack America
Okay, that's fair.
and has nuclear capabilities,
Why would they leave the nukes down there then?
I would
Because it's
assume
probably
because
more-
it's pretty
probably
hard
too
to get
dangerous.
to.
It's probably
You
too
just can't
dangerous.
roll the fucking thing over and take it
Hey,
out.
you know what? I'm sorry, but if another country wants them that bad and they get it, then they deserve it if they get it.
Except for a few
All right, Benedict Arnold.
He's not wrong.
except
like-
for a
No, he's
few
not. I'm just
photographs.
Try hard.
Except for a few photographs taken by deep sea submersibles in 1968 and 1985, the U.S. Navy has never made public any physical surveys it has conducted on the wreck. The last photos were taken in 1985. The U.S. Navy secretly lent the man who took those pictures, his name is Robert Ballard,
Ballard.
they lent him the submersible to visit the wreck sites of the Thresher and the Scorpion.
Did he end up with a shotgun head?
In exchange for his work, the U.S. Navy allowed Ballard to use the same submersible to search for the Titanic. That's why the name sounds so familiar. Robert Ballard was the man who found the Titanic, if I'm not mistaken. He is known for, he discovered the Titanic in 1985.
So
So,
man's out here discovering Titanics and submarines.
well, that was his thing. He was trying to figure out where the Titanic was.
He's the real
And-
ocean king.
They let him search for the Titanic, but they let him do that after he found the wrecks of these two submarines. So
No.
it paid off. It was a good deal for him.
Can he start go find Atlantis? Like at that point, he
There's
found
no
the
fucking
He
Atlantis.
found the Titanic. He found the
Find
submarine.
Atlantis. All right. We're going to take a...
Imagine him.
Him. He's him. We're going to take a
Right.
short little break, and we'll be right back.
White pack.
Did you know there are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand in every single beach on the planet? There are also a billion cups, but not like an Is This Real cup that you can get on www.greenarrowmedia.org.
And welcome back to the Lost Subs of 68. All
Yes.
right.
What happens in 68 stays in 68.
Now, you know what happened in 68? A lot
I
of
don't know.
murder.
Assassinations.
A lot of
And
assassinations.
assassinations, to be
And
exact.
to fight the power. That's what happened. Am I wrong?
You're not really
You're
wrong.
not. You're not.
Wrong.
Dad, you were alive in 68. Tell us about 68.
Nope.
Why?
I'm here to talk about subs.
Well, the
We
subs
did the
happened in
68 episode already. Bobby Kennedy, Malcolm X. I mean, you want to go on, and we can do that as a sub thing.
Malcolm X
But
died
I
in
want to talk about
68?
these subs and how the
I thought that was
the
Martin
Scorpion
Luther.
might have been attacked, because the Scorpion was sent out to spy on the Russians, and the Russians might have sank it.
We already talked about that.
Okay, so what's the next sub?
Wait. You said it's songs by Bermuda, right?
Yes. It's by
It's a part of the triangle.
by the Azores.
It was the triangle that. But seriously, on the real though, like if we're talking about spying though, like why?
Well,
Why
so-
would well, hold on. Remember,
They
this
were
is
tied to
1960.
Cuba back then, remember?
Remember,
Yeah.
1968. You have Russia and Cuba.
Cuba.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, I
Kennedy.
who's to sit there and say that Cuba wasn't hanging around throughout the? I mean, Russia wasn't hanging around in the Cuban area in the late
Caribbean.
60s.
Cuba.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't take it into consideration. All right, that's fair. That's fair.
So,
Goddamn Cuba.
boom.
Cuba.
And
What
then
you
that's
did
it.
have in 1968, because it came off of the the earlier time in the early 60s, was the Cuban Missile Crisis. So the United States wanted to make sure that things were still going to be on the up and up, and Russia wasn't going to come back and try to revisit putting more nuclear weapons on that island. So yeah, I could honestly see that it would be possible that the
Soviets.
the Soviets shot at our and took us out. I can, and it's funny because everybody knows where the location of this sub is, and everybody knows that the sub, was on patrol there, but the reason why it was patrolling is still classified.
But my my question for that is though, if we really had proof that a USSR submarine shot down and killed American troops of American submarine,
Yeah.
we would have been at the physical war with them.
Yeah, but no, they
Why
wouldn't.
no?
We were
Because you
already
have a lot
in-
of politicians and people that are trying to stop.
We
stuff
were
like
already
that.
involved in Vietnam. We couldn't afford a war on two fronts.
Well, let me ask you this much: you hear a lot about this war that's going on in Ukraine, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you hear about how some people want the United States to offer a no-fly zone?
Yes.
Why are they refusing to do the no-fly zone?
I don't know.
Because they're
Because-
going to shoot down jets. And
Because if they
planes and
impose a
stuff.
no-fly zone over the Ukraine or a certain part of it, and Russia tests that, we have to shoot them down, or we have to engage that.
Yes.
By definition, you have World War III.
Not well. I mean, we're. Did they make a decision yet about the whole thing with Poland, about the two bombs?
They don't see again. I don't believe any of that bullshit. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of times things get done to get us into a war.
No, I know.
It
False
was
flags.
Ukraine.
and stuff.
It was a Ukrainian missile. They were shooting at a miss. So there was a Russian missile barrage heading towards one of the cities that are near the area.
NATO.
And to react, Ukraine did their own missile, shot own missiles to counteract
They
it.
own it. They own up to that. Did they say that?
They didn't pull into the investigation, and they completely cleared it off.
Okay.
So it
But
wasn't
NATO
a Russian
still
missile.
wants certain members of NATO still do want to enact Article 4, though.
Right. Which is what, Cito?
Article 4 is the discussion of acting on terms. Then there's Article 5, which is all-out war.
Right.
And then Article 6, we all go get a cake.
No, you don't realize how dangerous it is.
Okay,
I mean, just I mean, I've pulled up.
One stray missile, and you're in World War III.
Yeah,
well,
no, that's exactly
that's-
the main concerns right now over Russia.
who has the best war?
We're back-to-back World War champs, so what the fuck not?
USA.
Germany's on our side.
Anywho,
Right. Someone's like, Germany, we want you to march through Poland to get to Russia. You want us to go where?
You want us to do that again?
Dust off the tanks. We've even paved the roads. We know how to get there. We don't need the GPS. Hans? Schneider? We're going. Get the gang back together, boys.
Oh God, I have to add on. But
Get the gang back together.
but this time we do not kill the Jews. We do not kill them.
okay. Anywho, what other subs do we have?
Fool me once, shame on me. Well,
God, we're so fucked up.
the reason I bring up everything with the Cuban stuff,
How do people like us?
here's crazy thing about the Cuban Missile Crisis. It was averted by one man. Dad, you know who I'm talking about?
When you say averted, what do you mean by averted?
Are we talking about the same dude?
The
in Call of Duty?
Russians were given the clear to engage on the United States, and they didn't, because the commander and officer in this, I keep saying Russian, Soviet Union. This
Same shit.
I
Nah,
know.
Not really.
He
Yes.
made a decision to not engage. Do you know his name?
No, I do not. I never heard that before.
Vasily Arkhipov. He was a Soviet naval officer who, upon making a split decision, prevented the Cuban Missile Crisis from escalating into World War III.
Was he a commander of the boats that were being blockaded?
Hold on one second.
I'm about to say, I thought that was JFK who prevented that.
Hold on. This is more of his history afterwards.
Best president ever.
Commanded Okay, Commander Nikolai Shumkov commanded the K-9's main voyage. He was leader of the K-9, apparently. And his task was to test a torpedo fitted with a nuclear warhead. The detonation of this weapon formed a huge... No, that's something else. Sorry.
Yeah, because I never heard of... the reason why they didn't fire back in the United States is because they would have got killed. They would have got destroyed. We had them surrounded. So they would have literally been blown to bits.
This sounds like
That
USS
might have started the World War III.
USSR propaganda.
And Kennedy, when he did that, when he blockaded the Russians from getting to Cuba, was called everything in the book. He's an appeaser. He's this. He's that. But if he just went out and said, you know what, take it out of here. We're going to start a war. What would you have then? You know what I'm saying?
Nuclear war.
We'd have nuclear war. Yes, that's
Don't
right.
forget the Cubans literally had missiles that could hit Washington from Cuba. They were putting them on that island.
The anti-submarine warfare forces of the U.S. Navy set out to hunt 4 Soviet submarines, unaware that they could be carrying nuclear payloads.
That sounds risky.
The ASW was under strict orders to not use anything other than practiced depth charges,
Right.
low-powered explosive device,
And star
to
shells.
signal hostile submarine operators that they had been spotted. So, like, I'm just letting you know I see you. I'm not here to fuck you up. I'm
So
letting you
warning
know.
shots.
Yeah, essentially. Not even, but yeah. 2 of the submarines was successfully forced to surface and left Cuba waters without confrontation. Another stayed submerged for long enough to lose the patrol and to return home. But the captain of B-59, Valentin Savitsky, insisted on calling the ASW's bluff, refused to surface in spite of his ship's depleted battery. After 4 days of non-stop shelling, internal temperatures had shot up to intolerable levels, and crew members were beginning to faint from oxygen deprivation. Gripped by paranoia and cut off from Moscow, the captain concluded that the war had already begun, and the only honorable way out was to fire the B-59's nuke at the ASW. He said, we're going to blast them now, we're all going to die, but we will sink them all, and we will not become the shame of the fleet. But that didn't happen because the second captain, which was Vasily, said, we're not doing that. And he single-handedly stonewalled the nuclear torpedo launch, convincing the captain to surface and await orders from Moscow. So had he just followed orders, the world's looking a lot different now than it did then.
Yeah, I mean, again, if this is, I never heard that before, but if this is true, what you're saying, you got to give the guy a little bit of credit. But he wasn't doing it because he was.
Oh,
he
no,
was
it wasn't
honorable.
like, yeah.
He knew he was going to get killed. There was no.
Well, yeah. Like,
You know,
yeah. It wasn't like he was doing this because, we need to do the right thing. Let's not start nuclear war.
And let's not, look.
No, he was like, let's just calm the fuck down.
How about?
Look,
he
I-
was
I
that
don't
meme.
want to die either.
He was that meme. Hey, now.
I can
Slow
sit
down.
there and tell you firsthand
Right?
that, and I'm not going to bash JFK because he's absolutely one of my favorite presidents.
No, the
However,
bullet bashed them.
Okay. However, what do you say?
I couldn't.
He
let
beat
that
me
go.
to it.
I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go.
Bruh. Too soon.
It was 60 fucking years ago.
Still too soon.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I made a horrible joke.
Wasn't it? We're so far off topic now. It doesn't fucking matter. Okay.
It's all right, Dad.
The
Just
penultimate
calm down.
episode is just fucked.
He doesn't want to bash JFK because
No, it's not that I want to bash JFK. That's fine. You want to bash him? Maybe, you know what? He did a lot of stupid shit. Okay, every president's open to be bashed.
He just couldn't keep his
Some
dick
should be
in his
bashed with a
pants.
bat. Some can be bashed with a,
Okay, whoa.
Kennedy actually made a deal to get the. He made a deal. He took the missiles out of Turkey because they were obsolete, and he said to the Russians, "Look, we'll give you 6 months. Don't say anything about it. We'll take the missiles out of Turkey, which was on the border of Russia, and you take the missiles out of Cuba." It wasn't that, and plus the blockade did work. So that's my take on that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to the subs. What sub we got next?
Let's go with the Soviet sub since we're on the Soviet, thing anyway.
Soviets.
That would be what the
That would be K-129.
okay. Okay.
129.
And it sank out by Pearl Harbor, I believe.
Spying on the U.S., I see. Shame on.
The K-129.
They really didn't learn from the first time.
Seriously,
completed
like,
two 70-day
No, they
ballistic
sank us the
missile
first time.
combat patrols in '67.
Oh.
It was tasked with their third one in February '68 with an expected completion date of May 5th, 1968. Upon departure on the 24th of February, the K-129 reached deep water, conducted a test dive, returned to the surface, and reported by radio that all was well and proceeded on patrol. Upon her final deployment, K-129's commander was Captain First Rank Vladimir L. Kobzar and Captain Second Rank Alexander M. Zorovin. As senior assistant to the commander, she carried a hull number 722 on her final deployment. No further communication was received from K-129 despite normal radio check-ins expected when the submarine crossed the 180th meridian, whatever the fuck that is,
okay.
and further when she arrived at the patrol area. So she just went gone missing. There was nothing.
Right.
You
But
know,
here's the weird shit about it. The K-129 recovery has been stated to have been a failure. They did recover the bodies of 6 men. They were given a burial at sea back in 1974, but they were but they were radioactively contaminated.
Oh shit.
They were buried in a steel.
Excuse me?
They were buried in a steel chamber, and they kicked that fucking bitch off the side of a boat, 90 miles southwest of Hawaii.
Hawaii.
And that was a videotape of that ceremony was given to Russia by the CIA director Robert Gates when he visited Moscow in 1992.
That's some gangster shit.
I agree.
The K-129 recovery has been stated to have been a failure, recovering only small amounts of insignificant parts. The CIA argued in a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit that the project had to be kept secret because any official acknowledgement of involvement by U.S. government agencies would disclose the nature and the purpose of the program.
you're talking about the recovery attempt for the United States.
Yes.
Under Nixon.
Under Nixon. The response has entered the lexicon of legal jargon as the Glomar response or glomerization. We can neither confirm nor deny. That's where we get that statement. So when the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, we can neither confirm nor deny, that means we're doing something, but we can't tell you that we're doing something.
Fucking lying bastards.
As of 2018, the files, photos, videos, and other documents, evidence remain closed to the public. A few pictures appeared in a documentary about the wreck. The bow and the sail and the missile compartment was damaged, but there was only one missile tube left attached to the structure.
Yeah, it says there was an unofficial source said that the United States recovered the bow area, which contained 2 nuclear torpedoes.
So
No one knows for sure.
So essentially, Cito, just like the Scorpion, like it goes down. That's why the Navy checks in on it, because we were doing the same fucking thing to K-129. It's like they left their toys out. Let's go grab a couple.
Let's see what they got.
Fair.
So
Fucking CIA.
and there's 4 possible explanations: a hydrogen explosion in the batteries while charging. They have
But you would have saw that. There would have been evidence by that.
maybe.
Yeah, but when it's kept quiet, you're never going to know what the evidence really is.
Here's another one: a possible collision with the USS Swordfish.
What the hell's a swordfish?
It's another submarine, I'm assuming. Yes, it is.
Imagine it just collided with a big ass fish under the water.
Let's see. Yeah,
Creatures
yeah.
of the deep.
Creature, exactly.
Final
Deep sea
safety.
creatures.
Although the Swordfish was retired, and it was moved to the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard.
So it's still intact.
Yeah, it is still intact.
So why would they turn around and say it was?
Russia has repeatedly requested copies of the Swordfish's logs to trace her to the time the K-129 was lost, but the Pentagon refuses to release them.
They're not going to help them
The
out.
Swordfish was involved in highly sensitive operations at that time. The U.S. salvaged some parts of 129 and has provided the government with the tapes of the burial at sea. That's it. So Russia thinks that we fucked with K-129,
Right.
which happened 3 months after we think maybe they fucked with the Scorpion.
Right.
So you said
that could be
you said there was
misleading.
4 main theories, right?
Well, yeah. Well, the other 2 theories about the submarine, the Soviet submarine, was the hydrogen explosion, collision with the Swordfish, a missile explosion caused by a leaking missile door seal, or intentional or unintentional scuttle by the crew to violating normal operating procedures. So, like mutiny. Like, I'm not doing this fucking job. I want to leave, and like we can't just leave you. You
I
can't
go
just
for
pull off to the
mutiny.
side.
We're like what? How much bodies were recovered? 6.
6 bodies were
And
recovered.
they're radioactive.
They were radioactive, and the amount of men on the boat on the submarine.
One of them started turning into a zombie. I know it.
No, 83.
Fetch me their souls.
20 officers and 63 enlists.
New map
Bruh.
under the water.
So
It's in the sub.
83 men died,
Rest in peace.
and 6 of them were recovered, and it
Radioactive.
was it was partially recovered in a covert salvage operation by the CIA in 1974.
Fucking CIA.
So wait, they're still radioactive that long after.
Yeah. So you're
So that means they had to be. They sank with
something-
something radioactive. Then.
well, they had warheads on this
yeah,
this
that's what I'm
fucker.
saying. I would most likely believe it's probably a leakage of one of the warheads.
It could have been, but they
We
fa-
won't know because the CIA is always hiding shit.
That's right.
That
So
is true.
the official
I was very angry. Sorry.
The official Soviet Navy hypothesis is that K-129, while operating in snorkel mode, slipped below its operating depth. Such an event, combined with a mechanical failure or improper crew reaction, caused flooding sufficiently to sink the boat. So, we fucked up. Everyone panicked. Jesus did not grab the wheel. Instead, it just went all the way down to the bottom of the fucking ocean.
How dare you?
And the CIA decided to swoop in to find some new toys.
That's mine. That's mine.
So there's that. That's K-129.
Interesting.
How many more do we have?
We have the French submarine Minerve, and we have the INS Dakar.
Well, let's go with it.
Let's do the
Let's do
Dakar.
the car. That's fine.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, on January 24th, 1968, at 6:10 p.m., I believe, the Dakar transmitted her position
At that time.
just east of Crete. Over the next 18 hours, she sent 3 transmissions, which did not include her position, oddly enough. Her final broadcast was at 2 minutes after midnight on the 25th of January, after which no further transmissions were received. On 26th January, the British Admiralty reported that the submarine was missing and gave the last known position as 100 miles west of Cyprus. An international search and rescue operation began, including units from Israel, the States, Greece, Turkey, Britain, and Lebanon. Although the Israeli Navy in Haifa never began broadcasting calls to commercial vessels to be on the lookout for Dakar, Israeli officials would not admit the submarine was missing. Okay. On the 27th of January, a radio station in Nicosia, Cyprus, received a distress call on the frequency of the Dakar's emergency buoy, apparently from southeast of Cyprus, but no further traces of the sub were found. On the 31st of January, all non-Israel forces abandoned their search at sunset. Israeli forces continued to search another 4 days, ceasing at sundown on the 4th of February, 1968. Israel denied that the Dakar sank as a result of hostile action. It stated that the Dakar was involved in a crash diving exercise on its return voyage and was probably lost as a result of mechanical failure. On the 25th of April in 1968, Vice Admiral Avraham Botzer, the commander of the Israeli Navy, stated that the car sank on 24 January 1968, 2 days before being reported missing due to technical or human malfunctioning and not foul play. Just to add my own little caveat to that, obviously I call bullshit on that because they're going to want to tell you that if there's a problem, they're not going to tell you that it was sunk in battle.
No.
Especially if they were on some kind of covert mission. And who knows what they were doing. Okay.
Right.
Normally, if there's a training exercise that goes wrong, they say, look, we lost, so many people
Yeah.
today in a training exercise. a mishap, a lot of because they happen.
Yeah, it says here that the exact cause of the loss remains unknown, but it appears that no emergency measures were taken before Dakar dived rapidly through her maximum depth, suffered catastrophic hull rupture, and continued her plunge to the bottom. The emergency buoy was released by the violence of the hull collapse and drifted a year before washing ashore, which means that
No
out
one
of
stopped it.
out of nowhere, it just went fucking straight down and crashed at the bottom of the fucking ocean.
Right.
So,
Which tells me that the people on the ship, or whatever the hell you want to call it, with a submarine, were dead before it hit the bottom.
It could be.
you're not exactly
it was the
wrong.
Atlanteans.
Bro, what?
Here's some weird shit. In 2018, the Israeli Navy proposed naming their newest vessel, the Dakar, in tribute to the original, and the family said "fuck you." They protested and they
Did
changed.
that one sink also?
No, they just changed the name to the Dragon, which shares the same letters in Hebrew. So they wanted to be like, look, it's a new boat for their legacy, and they're like, get fucked. 69 fucking sailors perished.
So what could kill 69 people within a split second?
Well, who says it's within a split second?
You think
There
they
could
just
have been-
gradually died?
See, again, this is diesel powered. You got a lot of diesel fuel on
Yep.
that thing.
Yeah.
Or
It starts-
cold.
It starts to leak. No, it wasn't coal. It was a diesel. it
No,
was-
what I'm saying, not
Oh
a
yeah, it
coal.
could be fumes too. I just
I didn't say
fumes could
coal.
have killed them.
I said cold, like a sickness.
It could have been something like
COVID.
that too, but no.
Stop it.
This has got all the air marks. If they were doing something they weren't
Did they
supposed
open
to
it
be
in
doing.
2020?
And maybe it was sunk by the Israeli government themselves. That's what I'm
Or
looking
Egyptian.
at it.
Or Egyptian. Well,
Well, if it
They
was
were
Egyptians,
beefing- they
no.
were
If
beefing
that was
with
Egyptians,
they
the
were
Israelis,
beefing
Hold
with
on a
the
Israel
second.
would have
Egyptians
blamed
for
them in a
6
heartbeat.
days.
hold on. There was an Egyptian newspaper called the Al Akbar reported that the Dakar had been sunk by an Egyptian warship with depth charges.
Well, if that's the case,
The Israeli government said that there was no evidence to substantiate the Egyptians' unofficial claims.
right? Well, see, that makes sense too, because why would Israel say, "Yeah, you got us"? Then if they do that, they got to admit that they were there.
Yeah, exactly.
So why would they want to do that? Especially, again, you're talking 1968. Everybody, as today, it's the same thing. Everybody's spying on everybody.
Yeah, and this wasn't exactly new out of the box kind of toy. It was built in England. It was called the HMS Totem.
Right. And
And
Israel bought it.
exactly, it was built in the fucking it launched in 1943. So it served.
In World War II.
Well, it says I guess so. Yeah, it served after the end of World War II. Yeah, so she had a little bit of things to do, but then she was purchased by Israel in 1965, and then lost. Which I didn't realize this, but Dakar translated means swordfish.
So that was the.
I'm not saying. I think it's a wonderful little coincidence.
I was going to say, isn't that like?
But
kind of a
I mean,
major
obviously,
coincidence?
where this lies, it's not anywhere near.
Hawaii.
Where the swordfish might have run into K-129. It's not anywhere near the Scorpion, which is, in the Azores.
Right. What I'm not coming up with is, has anybody tried to salvage anything from this? I don't see anything as far as. I see searches, I see discovery, but I don't see anybody trying to go down there.
They're
and
not going to tell
Hold
us
on.
because they opened
On
it
May
in 2020.
29th, a joint U.S.-Israeli search team using information received by the U.S. intelligence sources led by Thomas Kent Detweiler, a subcontractor from American Nauticos Corp., detected a large body on the seabed between Crete and Cyprus at 9,800 feet. So this is where they found it.
Shit.
May 28th was the first video pictures taken by the remote vehicle, the Remora 2, making it clear that the Dakar had been found. She rests on her keel, bowed to the northwest. Her conning tower was snapped off and falling out over the side. The stern with the propellers broke off at the engine room and rests beside the main hull. So it snapped in half. During October of 2000, a survey of the wreckage and the wreckage site was undertaken by Nauticos Cooperation and the Israeli Navy. Some artifacts were found, including the submarine's bridge, boat, gyro compass, and many small items. The exact cause remains unknown, but the salvage conning tower is outside of the Naval Museum in Israel. So they did salvage some pieces of it, but not like a lot.
Not
You know what I
anything
mean?
to tell us why those motherfuckers died.
Yeah, nothing to like give us a substantial reason as to why all of a sudden it took a sharp dive and never came back. So that is the story of the INS Dakar that went
now we
missing in
have-
'68.
The Minerve.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go right through with this one. You're not gonna take a break anytime soon.
No, right through.
Okay.
Let's go right through, and then we'll come back, and we'll take a break after this, and then we'll give our last thoughts.
So
Last thoughts.
and here's the weird thing about this: the Minerve sank 2 days after the Dakar sank. So that disappeared in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea, and the Minerve
Minerve. I love
was discovered in 2009 south of, I'm gonna fuck this one up, Toulon. It's in the French Riviera. It's still in the Mediterranean coast. So
It looks pretty.
yeah, so we have K-129 was by Hawaii. Scorpion was in the Caribbean, just outside, and then these two were in different parts of the Mediterranein. The difference with all of them is we found the other three pretty fast. The Minerve took 50 fucking years to find.
A little strange for that one.
Yeah. 19 January 27, 1968, traveling just beneath the surface on the Gulf of Lion using her snorkel. She was 25 nautical miles from her base in Toulon when she advised an accompanying aircraft that she would be at her berth in an hour. This was the last time the boat and her crew of 6 officers and 46 enlistees, so 52, would make contact. She disappeared in the waters between 3,300 and 6,000 feet deep.
Jesus Christ.
The Commander Philippe Bouillot, I fucked that up probably, said that the Minerve's new captain had spent 7,000 hours submerged in over 4 years of submarines of the same class and never had a problem. So you had an experienced captain on this boat. The only known factor that could cause her to sink was the weather, which was extremely bad at her time of loss. But
That
she
can
was just
affect-
under the surface too. Or
Yeah.
Snorkel, using the snorkel.
Oh, okay.
Yes. The French Navy launched a
was thinking the
search for
same
the
thing.
missing subs.
Like weather. It's underwater, nigga.
Yep, but it called off on February
Currents. I know,
2nd.
I thought about
Yeah.
occurrence.
Yeah. So we don't know. Like again, we don't know exactly what happened with
But
this.
something again is fishy with this. No pun intended here. Okay. Struggle of the families.
God,
They
I love
wanted to
comedy.
find
I
out what's
love it.
going on, and it was classified.
Classified
Secret
information.
defense.
Secret defense. So again,
Enough with the
they're up,
classifications.
they're up to no good, and something happened, and maybe they got entangled into something they shouldn't have, and they're not going to be truthful about it.
The Loch Ness monster.
Dude, you and I are on the same wavelength
I
tonight.
hate you.
And I'll tell you how fucked up it is because they went down there days after this was missing. They actually got Jacques Cousteau, a famous French diver, and a
Motherfucking
crew to
Jacques
go down there to
Cousteau?
try to find this fucking thing, and he couldn't do it.
If Jacques Cousteau could not
Listen
find
to this.
it, then I swear no one
Go
can
ahead.
find it.
In 2018, the
What was
son
that? Was that right?
the son of the
Beautiful.
last commander.
Magnifique.
In 2018, the son of the last commander of the Minerve addressed the president Emmanuel Macron. Did I say that right?
Well, yeah, I got it.
To request an early lifting of the defense secrets, the defense file on the Minerve. So they put it in, it's a defense file, can't access it for 50 years. In 2018, like, can you please lift it? The file has been kept in the archives since 77, as declassification should not take place until 50 years after the most recent piece of the file, dated 1970. So
So 2020.
just because they classified it then, it's set to be released 50 years after the last piece goes in. So if they find something new, say they found something new last year, that would then extend it to 2070. But that's not what happened. There is a risk that an automated renewal of the file will extend its secrecy by 10 years. He argues that the file is empty, according to those who have consulted it, and that there's no similar submarine still in use. and it does not contain any element contrary to the security of the state, and above all, that the families live in hope of this lifting. The request was examined by the official journal, and the official journal announced in June of 2018 to declassify the archives concerning the disappearance. So that's what they did. They declassified it. And then on October of 2018, a French newspaper published an article in which it informed that the families of the sailors had sent an open letter to representatives to the harbor to please keep looking for the ship. The submarine had only been the submarine was the only Western submarine that had not been found since the end of World War II.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yikes.
On February 20th, I didn't get enough sleep last night. February 5th, 2020, the Minister of Armed Forces announced the resumption of the search 50 years after its last campaign. And then in July 4th of 2019,
Independence Day.
they said, okay, we're looking. And it took them 3 weeks to find the fucking thing.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
The discovery was located July 21st, 2019, using the company Ocean Infinity, and it used the search ship Seabed Constructor. It was found 7,710 feet below the surface, broken into 3 pieces along the bed. I'm sorry, but something is fucked up with that for me.
Go on.
Because if something sinks, how does it break up into 3 pieces?
It hits rocks.
That's a good question. It
I
really
mean, I'm
doesn't.
sure, Wes, I'm pretty sure you're probably right. Like, on its way down, there's some underwater mountain. Remember, this is thousands of feet deep.
Yes, points for me.
I'm sure there's some sort of underwater mountain it's bouncing off of and it's cracking and blah, 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 blah. But, like, I don't know. There's a part of me that's like,
A giant crab.
hold on. For 50 years, you couldn't say anything or do anything about this. And then you reopen the case, and then literally 3 weeks later, like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
These 4 subs.
It
are
smells
screaming.
kind of fishy.
These.
Fishy video.
I lost my hat last week. I spent 2 days looking for it. It was in the fucking couch. Like, I was pissed off at myself because it was right there and I couldn't see it because it's the same color as the couch. I'm like, this took 50 years and it was like around the block?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. This is so far the 4 that we discussed tonight are screaming government conspiracy somewhere along the line. Not so much a conspiracy, but something that was done.
Government cover-up.
Government cover-ups.
Fucking governments.
I mean, this is cut and dry in my eyes, because you got every one of them, especially, when you got, like you just said, oh, we don't know where it is, we can't find it. We're 50 years later. Oh wait, I just tripped over it. Oh, there it is. Come on, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Like, I understand technology, like it is 7,000 feet down. Technology is one thing, yes, because it's a long fucking way from the surface, and they might not have had the advanced technology then to locate it. Like, but still, it's like you would think, and sometime in the 50 years, what's the holdup? Like, why is it secret? Why isn't it declassified?
Well,
why
again,
did the Pentagon
go back-
shut down all the
go
cameras
back-
on 9/11? That's crazy.
Exactly. Go back to the Kennedy assassination. When they first got all these files together, they said, well, it can't be opened until 2027.
Right.
Okay, well, guess what? They released most of the stuff already, but they're going to hold out for this. There's a few things that are straggling behind that they don't want to release.
They're waiting for the
Why
old-
not?
They're
Why?
waiting for the old time conspiracy theorists to die off.
But no, well, why are you holding back?
Why-
Why we're not entitled to the fucking truth?
Oh, wait, I got a question.
Because they're probably gonna let us know
come
that
on.
they actually really killed them.
Isn't Jackie's book supposed to be coming out soon?
No, when her daughter dies.
My daughter dies.
When her daughter, so,
When
and that's the final
Caroline-
caveat, right? It's got to be after.
Right. When Caroline dies, the publisher automatically is going to publish it. And the reason why she did
Wait,
that
wait,
is
what's so
because-
special about this book? I'm sorry, not to get off
Well,
topic.
because it's going to be from the point of view of Jackie Kennedy, which nobody has heard from.
Jackie Kennedy was very silent on the entire assassination
Yeah.
of JFK, her husband. Problem is, she wrote a book secretly.
die
Over the
soon,
years,
maybe?
she wrote a book, and she said this book cannot be released until all of my children are dead. So, well,
John Jr. took himself out.
And she's 64 years old, so there's a good chance that most people who are waiting for this book aren't going to be able to see this book because she's only 57.
Like,
I'm
my
sorry.
children.
She was born in 57. She's only 64.
Right.
So say she has another, at best, 30 years.
Our children would read this.
I mean, we might be able to see this, but like
We
people.
don't get the PDF or hologram of it.
Here-
Wait,
here's
I
the-
can't see this.
What I'm
I'll
saying
be
is,
dust.
you're right. The people who are alive. No, hold on a second. I don't mean
You're
to.
right, Dad. You're gonna be dust.
I don't mean to sound like that. What I'm saying is,
You
the
know,
people
he
who
might
are
be- he might
alive,
struggle on and just be like,
the
"I'm gonna
people who
live
are
to see this
alive to
book."
witness the death of JFK will not be alive to see this book unless something, God forbid, happens to Caroline. Or Caroline,
Hey, we were talking about the Kennedy curse.
You know, she
well, the
might-
Kennedy curse is
What?
going to be next
Next season.
season's finale. So,
All right.
So
Crazy thing, but if she pulls a queen, and just starts sucking the life force out of her.
bro, what?
she starts sucking the life force out of everyone.
She
We're gonna
starts,
take a short
what
little
is it?
break.
She starts drinking the adrenochrome of like.
The
fucking-
Waterchrome?
Yeah,
the adrenochrome of like. Fucking
totally.
All that
We're
shit.
gonna-
What did you just?
We're
I
gonna
don't
take
know,
a
I don't
short
know,
look.
it's
Look,
some
guys,
shit.
guys,
Some shit that they be drinking. Fucking.
guys.
West
West.
people.
We're gonna take a short little break, and then we'll be back to answer our question of what we believe or not. We'll be right back.
They drink children's blood.
Oh my God.
It's hot. It's hot. Mama. Oh, Roblox-san, I have crawled many distances for your life advice and your inner wisdom. What do you have to tell me? When Great Roblox-san gives you life advice, that's a hard pill to swallow. You can sometimes wash that down with an Is This Real coffee mug that you can get on www.greenarrowmedia.org.
Hello, this is JC3 speaking. If you want to know more about Is This Real podcast and our parent company Green Arrow Media, then visit greenarrowmedia.org. You can find and follow all of our social media pages through our website. If you love our content, then you can support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and our Patreon page. Remember, that is greenarrowmedia.org.
If you liked this video today, please click the like and subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification icon to keep up with all our videos.
Welcome back to the Lost Subs in 1968, and that was right in my ear, Cito. We're ending this episode and close to ending this season so far, season of Ocean and Space, which has been this has been more of a fan interaction season than anything, even though we haven't interacted with any fans on the episodes. TikTok, though.
TikTok loves
TikTok loves us.
loves him really.
40,000 strong.
Yeah, 40, 100, 40, 40, so I don't fucking know.
I
Math.
think it was like 40. It was like 4,100
Math.
and some change.
41,000.
Something like that.
41,000.
Anywho,
Video
so
already hit 1 mil.
that's
Another one's closing up.
That's correct.
But enough flexing.
yes. Let's get back to okay. So these, I think we're all in agreement that agreement. I never get those two words correct.
I think he was right.
Government conspiracy, government cover up for these four
I agree.
For half.
for half.
You think for which half?
The Soviet and the American, like that.
That's definitely.
That
Cover-up.
sounds like Cold War, like style of like cover up.
Yeah.
The other two I can completely understand if internal malfunctions, style of that.
COVID.
Shut
No.
up.
But, missiles or something just happening to,
The French and Israeli one, like something. They were actual fuck ups.
Yeah, like who were they beefing with?
Hold
back
on,
in
but wait a
68?
second. Wait.
Well,
2
the
days
Israelis
after
were-
each
Israelis
other,
were
though?
beefing with the
Okay,
Egyptians
2
for a
days
little
after
bit,
each other?
for like 6
Sure.
days.
But even though the French
And the
did have a
Palestinians have
good
been beefing with them
captain,
for a while.
just because you have a good captain, that doesn't mean a good crew can also.
Yes. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So it's like, I'm pretty sure something
The
could have
captain
easily
don't
happened.
make the crew.
These are all, most of these besides the American one are diesel. So we don't know exactly, extremely high heat, stuff like that. The fumes, it could be getting to people. That makes people lightheaded.
They could
Or
have-
COVID.
they could- Yeah,
Enough with the
you said-
fucking COVID, you
said the heat,
dickhead.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was thinking that there was probably no way of them to exhaust all that mass amounts of heat. So
See, there's a wonderful
carbon
internet.
monoxide could have killed them too.
There's a wonderful internet meme from the Phineas and Ferb show.
Love that show.
That I when I was doing research, I was like, this I'm gonna fuck it up a little bit, but it explains it perfectly. If I had a nickel for every time this happened, I'd have 4 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's still pretty fucking weird.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, so it's like it's really weird. It happened 4 times in the same year, 2 of them within 2 days of each other.
I thought it was 3. You said
No,
one of those-
January, May, March, and May, I believe it was.
Okay.
I closed all the tabs.
So
out,
all
I
this
don't know.
before the summertime.
Yeah, exactly. All this before fucking April. I know that for sure.
Summertime sadness. They got that summertime.
Well,
I mean,
Shut the fuck up.
sadness.
I think the definitely the Scorpion K129, definitely government stuff in there. Some sort of black ops mission maybe. I don't know about the other two because it's not like Israel and France were at war with each other. And who the fuck was at war with France in '68? You know what I mean?
Themselves.
Nobody.
So the idea of
It was
that,
an uprising.
the idea of that happening, and then the
Happened a long
French
time ago.
boat, the French submarine sinking because of like a wartime thing doesn't make sense to me. So I could see that being an accident.
It could be
Although
a
the idea of like the French government going, no, declassify, classify for 50 years, that's weird to me.
See, to me, that screams that they were on some kind of a what do you call it, spying mission, and they just don't want to admit that.
Spying
that's
on who
what I'm-
though?
Doesn't matter. Whoever you're under the water. You can
68,
spy
and,
anywhere you want.
and you're in the Mediterranean. So what's happening in the Mediterranean
Right.
68?
Why
you
don't we
got
look
the-
it up?
The
Well, you got
Atlanteans.
It
you
wasn't
got
Atlantis.
Israel. You got the Isle of Crete. You have Greece. You have
Well, I know that the I
Middle
know,
East.
Why would the
begins
French
right
be-
there.
What was happening in North Africa at the time?
Why
Well,
would the
well,
French
I
be
know
spying on
some-
Assfuck Island?
Well,
no. Check this
Yeah,
out. Check
there
this
was.
Because
You
I
had
know, because I know from
Egypt and Israel at war.
they were
Mhm.
beefing for like 6 days, like officially, like at war with each other,
Official.
and
It could have been a spy mission. Got
and it
gone
could
wrong.
exactly
France?
yeah, the French could have just been spying on it to see exactly.
I mean,
what
they're
was
French.
happening.
They're nosy frogs anyway. It's like, what is going on over
Oh
there?
my
Whoa.
God!
So in 1968, there was also issues between
This
Greece
is like
and
the
Turkey.
National Insulting Hour. I swear to God, we fucked
What
up.
is going on over there? I'm going to stick my nose in.
Wait. So Turkey and Assfuck Island had issues in '68?
They were
Yeah.
beefing.
Look, I'm giving a cigarette to a 9-year-old. Do something.
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Shut up.
You ever seen the French salute?
Stop! Jesus Christ. My God.
What's the first thing they teach you in the French army?
Sorry, France.
I'm not.
I know. Well, you know what? They don't like Americans anyway, so.
They don't like ya.
We have the best cuisine in the world. Fuck you.
Anyway, we almost done, please.
Their bakery is amazing, though. I love it.
Dude, I love
I'm just
French
channeling
fries.
my uncle at the moment. That's all.
I love. Shut up.
Yeah, he have a fucking field day with this episode.
They're called freedom fries, motherfucker.
Anywho. So next week,
How do
gentlemen.
people like us?
I don't know why.
Each week it's less and less.
I know, right?
The numbers are going up, not down. Goddammit! I'm making sure of that.
Yeah, I'll be honest though. In the last 30 days, this is the first time we're gonna have 30 days inside the actual podcast of Buzzsprout that we're gonna have 2,000 downloads in 30 days.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Good job, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're still
Getting
kicking.
carried.
And listen,
Yeah.
I'm really hoping. I want to hit 50,000
Oh,
before
my
the new
God.
year.
I want to sell a mug. I just want to sell a motherfucking mug.
He wants to get paid.
Look, see this right here? Every Thursday night I'm doing this shit. I
Look,
wanna
France, if
buy
you
the
want to buy
fucking
these,
thing.
we'll love you.
Okay? You got that one. You got this one here. Look, season 7. Come on now.
Well, we do have to look for season 8, so if you want to make another one.
Okay, season 8. Right. Okay.
Anywho, so our season finale for season 7 is what is the prison planet theory.
It's
which-
going to be a double kind of it's a prison planet and cul-de-sac theory.
Yeah, it's basically the same.
I don't know what the hell any of that means.
Yes and no, but it's isolation. They
It's-
both go into isolation.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what I was trying to say.
It's either we're put here or this is it.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about Alex Jones. Prison planet, right? We're not
No, we're not talking
No.
about Alex Jones.
talking- Come on.
Shut up.
He's broke.
Shut up.
Not going there.
Rest in peace.
Sorry, had an opinion, folks.
Anywho, so I'll be honest. Yes, so we're gonna sit there and say, half of us is more of a government cover-up. That's what it is.
Oh, I'm definitely saying I think it's more cover up. Is this real? Yes, we know exactly where they are, but
The boats are there.
the boats are there. They sank.
Subs.
We don't know how or why.
I'm still saying
Aliens.
COVID on one of them. I don't.
It ran into the dome. It goes through the earth.
Shut the fuck up.
God.
Shut the fuck up.
Stop it. You know what, Anthony? By that logic, it ran into the fucking moon. That's what happened. It ran into the fucking moon.
Well, didn't you
under
know,
the water.
Eric? I mean, someone tagged me in the video that we can get to space through going at the bottom of the ocean, because that's a thing.
Yeah.
Let's
Awesome.
fuck with all logic.
Wait.
No.
Stop it.
If we're flat,
Be
then there's a
nice.
hole, then the water would just drain out. But we can still get to space through the hole. I'm done.
Anywho, so next week
And how come
is
the vacuum hasn't sucked the salt?
our
You know what?
season finale.
Fucking mouth breathing crazy.
Of our season 7 finale. What is the prison planet theory? And
We're on it.
we're gonna be talking about what we like about the season, what we didn't like about the season, and going into season 8, which would be our curses season. I'm excited, and we can announce. Well, I don't know what date yet, but coming in December, we are having a holiday Christmas special. So be prepared on the lookout on all of our social medias for that. Mostly our TikTok, which is this real PC on TikTok.
If you have anything that you want to send us as far as like a reader's tale, please do so. Send us an email, isthisrealpc@gmail.com.
Couple of bucks.
And visit our website, greenarrowmedia.org. If you follow us on TikTok, the link is in the bio.
And keep following us for our Is This Real Live, our after shows
Yeah.
that we do almost every episode.
What about
Oh.
the merch page?
Well, yeah, hold on. We're getting to that.
GreenHourMedia.org. Go to our merch page. Buy something, please. Do
Yeah.
it. Do it fucking now. Do it. Do it. Do it now.
And go to our YouTube. So we bumped some numbers up on YouTube. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
125 followers now.
Yeah, so we have 40,000 on one social media platform and 100 on the other. So
75 on Instagram. Let's do this.
let's go. Are we even pushing Twitter anymore? Because I don't think we should push Twitter anymore.
No, and we have 50 on Facebook.
So there's that.
I think we should just keep going with TikTok.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, guys. Everyone say goodnight.
Adios,
Bye,
motherfuckers.
Bye, everyone.
And we'll catch you guys next week. Remember, guys, question everything. Good
Oh,
night.
Joey will upload the videos soon onto TikTok. I mean, onto YouTube.
You really had to add that after I said my tagline.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Remember, guys, question everything. Good night.
Konnichiwa, bitches. It's Ryu West speaking. If you want to find out more about the Is This Real podcast, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/isthisrealpc, or on Twitter at isthisrealpc, or on Instagram at isthisrealpodcast, all one word.